Hey guys, it's Marisa and thanks for clicking on another one of my videos today. Hey guys, it's Marisa and thanks for clicking on another one of my videos. Today I'm going to be talking about my first year in university, Unfiltered. Recently I've been getting questions from you guys about every other day, so thank you for reaching out to me, but about how my first year in university was, friends-wise, school-wise, vibes-wise, party-wise, so I'm going to be here to spill it all. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about a bunch of different topics and I'll lay them out for you first. I'm going to be talking about move-in, how O week was in general. I have my iPad here, so that's what I'm looking at. But I'm going to be talking about move-in, O week, foco, like how friends was and how adjusting to being there was, how the actual school part is, if any of you guys are interested in that part. And then lastly, how big partying is. So let's just jump right into the first topic, which is move-in. Came in 2 days early, and me and my dad, we got an Airbnb in London. We actually were coming from Toronto because we went to New York first, but on our way to London, we went and got IKEA stuff. We went to Walmart and we got a fridge, and then we also went to Canadian Tire. IKEA, make sure you make a list before because IKEA is so overwhelming, and talk to your roommate about what you guys are gonna split. Same with the fridge. Ours was like $89. I think we got it at Walmart. And then Canadian Tire, I got stuff like command hooks for hanging stuff on the walls, screwdrivers for putting some of the IKEA stuff together. So my move-in was September 3rd. It was like Labor Day weekend. We came like this Sunday. So I was at 12, except Dad and I decided to go an hour early. We were waiting in line for about like half an hour, 45 minutes. It didn't seem like that long because you're like excited, and I was getting anxious. Like right when you're at the front of the line, there's a whole bunch of softs, and you'll see it yelling at you to get out of the car. So they say first year's at the car, and basically if you want it to be as least awkward as possible, just get out as fast as you can. It was kind of fun, like you only get to experience that once, so enjoy it. But they yell at you to get out of your car, you get out of the car, they shake your hand, they ask you what faculty you're in, and then they take you into the main lounge. I was in Ontario Hall, so they took me into the main lounge. We all lined up, we checked in, got our one card and a room card, and like our mail key and stuff like that. Then you line up and you get like your science shirt, your O-Hall shirt, like your ResNet stuff, like all your move-in stuff. You get a calendar. You can pick up free merch. I didn't pick up any of the O-Hall free merch, so I recommend doing that. And then while you're in there, your parents go up and they drive into like the drive-in circle at the front of O-Hall, and there's a whole bunch of softs there, and they're unloading your stuff. I had like 17 boxes in a tiny little car, so don't worry if you have a lot of stuff. Do it, and they deliver it up to your room. So that's when I found out what floor I was living on, so 5 West and 5 East. There's just like different wings. And then once I got my stuff, my dad came down to where I was. He like parked the car in a different place and came and found me. And then we went up to the room together, and that's when I met my first suite mate, Michelle. And I met her mom and her dad, and that was really nice. I remember hugging her. I told her the story before we left. And then Abby came like an hour later. And then eventually I met Audrey. So that was move-in. Next topic I'm going to be talking about is O week. O week pretty much starts right after you move in. Like that night there's like, I think there's a barbecue. In O Hall there's a courtyard, and in the courtyard they like set up some grills or something and a bonfire. And basically a whole bunch of people just went down and talked. Abby and I didn't end up doing that. We hadn't seen each other in so long. And we ended up just sitting in her bed and catching up. Yeah, so we actually didn't go to that. But, so it's a good start to O week, but we did go to a lot of the other things. Another thing about O week is that O week is dry. Your softs sign a contract. If you don't know what a soft is, they're like a second year, third year student. But they live with you. Res softs do. Fac softs, they're like more of like your school soft. But your fac softs or your res softs are not supposed to buy you any alcohol because it's supposed to be a dry O week. And I feel like most people are dry. I don't know. We were mostly dry, to be honest, because we couldn't find someone to get us alcohol. I think we ended up getting alcohol from like someone on our floor. He was 19. So if you can find someone who's 19, or like bring alcohol with you when you're moving in, or get your parents to bring it for you. A lot of people did that. So yeah. Another thing about O week is like they pack you full of stuff. The concerts are like one of the more popular events, and those are like usually at the end of a week, like at night. But who came to ours? Killy. I think Killy was at a week. Don't really listen to him. Didn't really mean anything to me. Yeah, but the thing about the concerts is that they're really crazy. It's really busy. So I recommend you stay in a group of people when you go in, because I'm like 5'1.5" and I'm tiny. And I was with a whole bunch of girls who were also like smallerish. But we like knew we had to stay together. We were like really close. People were touching you in places you didn't want to be touched. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but either way it's kind of that type of vibe. It's kind of, yeah, it's like just know what you're getting into. But it's really crazy. When the beat would drop, I just knew I had to get out of there, so Abby like literally pulled me out. But just be careful if you're small. Be careful if you're not small. It's supposed to be dry. I think I was like a little bit tipsy. We had a little bit of drinks before we went. But another thing is they don't like when you vape. Like they don't want to see vaping or smoking or anything like that either. One of my friends was caught vaping by like one of the security guards there, because they have security guards. And she was like, "What is that?" And she was like in the crowd, and she was like hitting someone's jewel. They like pulled her out and they were like, "We saw you vaping, you're being kicked out," and they like kicked her out, and she like begged. She's like, "It's not even mine, like, no. Whatever." She tried to like talk them out of not kicking her out, and they just ended up kicking her out, so you have to be careful about that, be discreet. One thing that another one of my friends did is she got caught juuling, and she just looked at them and turned around and ran into the crowd, so like they're not really going to chase you in there, especially if it's that busy, so that is an option too. Another thing for a week is soft circles, and that's basically like it's dry, right? But kids are drinking, and it's the first week, and people go hard. Soft circles is when a whole bunch of the softs line up and they go around the kids that's drunk, so that no one can see inside the circle, and like if someone's throwing up or they're passed out or something not good is happening, they're kind of protected. So if you see that, that's what's happening. You kind of go to choose your own path. You only get one a week, but you also, like, if you don't think you need to go to certain things, don't. For like opening and closing ceremonies, they were like all right. People weren't really into it, and it didn't really make it as fun. So if you go with a big group of people who you know will be into it, like it'll make it more fun. But otherwise, it's like meh. The events at night are always more fun. The hypnotist show, I got hypnotized. I like ran up on stage when they asked for volunteers, and I got hypnotized. Fully didn't think I was hypnotized, and then he would say to do stuff and I'd do it, and I don't know whether it's like inside my head I wanted to believe it, I don't know. There's like a football game, of course. Yeah, just remember you only have one a week, so like you can do all the other partying like later when you're actually allowed to, when you can actually get alcohol from your soft or stuff like that. And then another big topic, the next one, is foco. So foco is our fake homecoming. Ours was September 28th, I think, so it was like we were still pretty new to the school. But that day, Chem 1301, we had a chem test, and it was terrible. The test wasn't terrible, but the fact that we had a chem test on foco was terrible. It was in the morning, thank God. The day started off, your socks come and wake you up, and they blast music, slam on your doors at 7 a.m. We got woken up, got ready, we went to the main lounge, got ready, like we just like changed a bit. Went to the main lounge, and they had made jello shots. For the kids doing the chem test, we had virgin jello shots, so I had some of those, and then we took some of the not virgin jello shots and took them back to our room for later. Me and Abby and Leia got half ready. Abby did her hair, because her hair takes a while. We went to the chem test, wrote it for like an hour. I left like with half an hour left. I just need to get out of there. I ended up getting 100, so we came back, got ready. Leia was already ready. She was already drinking. And she was just singing in our room, vibing with us until we were ready to go out. And then what happens on foco is you go to Brodale. It's just like a street. It's like kind of behind MedSid. What we did is we drank a lot before we left, and then we brought like from the vending machine, we got those Nestle iced teas, and we drank some of it and then filled the rest with alcohol. And then we went up to Brodale. So many people, like you'll know where to go. You just follow the crowd. And it's just a street party, massive street party. All the houses there. There's people on roofs, there's people jumping off of roofs, there's people, it's just like everyone's drunk, there's cops everywhere, so just like don't show that you have an open beverage. So like what we did with the iced tea was good. But basically you just walk up and down the street. First year it's like different because I don't think you know as many people like who own the houses there, so we didn't really know what to do. Met up with a couple of our friends, we saw our suite mates. But what you should do is just like go into random backyards. People don't really care. Go into random backyards, go into random house parties, but be safe, obviously. What Western does to make the partying a little bit lower is they had a music festival, and it's just like in our football field, and they call it Purple Fest. But ASAP was supposed to be there. He actually ended up canceling, so everyone was like, "Look, I'm selling my ticket." ASAP, Boogie with Hoodie. Tyga was there. Tyga. We basically went there for A Boogie, and I was like really drunk by then. I'll put in videos if there's some that are sane enough. I was like out of it. We were hungry by then. Yeah, make sure you eat for foco. Really drunk. Tried like it was just I was just really drunk. At around like 3 or 4, I think, went back to res, got some food, and then I took a nap. And Leia and Abby know that was the best nap of my life. Literally, I was sitting in Leia's room on her bed, and I was like, I'm tired. She's like, oh, why don't you take a nap then? And I was like, okay. And I passed out for like 3 hours. So good though. I passed out, and then I got back up, and I like drank a little bit more, hanging out with some of my friends on my floor, just dancing and being dumb. And then we had some dinner, we had some more food, and then we went back out to a house party. And it was just like some person that Abby knew. I think it'll be more fun in second year. But like foco, to be honest, was just another like darty. It was just like day drinking, kind of unnecessary. I think hopefully next year will be more fun if we know more people in the area. And like preying with people in the area. And when you don't have a chem test, that might be good too. The next thing I'm going to talk about is friends and adjusting to being away from home. There's a thing that I've been texting you guys. Pull it up. So this is what I've been telling some of you guys about the friend part. But everyone says a week is when you meet lots of people. And that's true. But because you're meeting so many people, it's not like you remember anyone's specific name. And you don't really click with anyone. It's hard to like match the names to faces. Like we tried to get people's Instagrams to do it, but like we'd see people later in the year and be like, we know them somehow, and we just figure it's from foco and OE. But yeah, you're meeting a lot of people, but it's hard to meet people that stand out. I was instantly pretty close with my suite mates and the girls across the hall and Leia. And that was like kind of our group of people at first. I knew Amy and Sagin, but I didn't have a solid friend group until about a month in. Just like after like partying, like coming home late, we'd eventually meet up with like other people on our floor, and that's how I met Nicole and Charlotte. So my group of friends is like me, Abby, my roommate, Leia, and then Nicole and Charlotte, who went to high school together in Toronto. Shout out. Me and Abby, literally, we remember after a week or during a week, sitting there being like, it seems like everyone's making friends, and we don't have a solid friend group, and we were concerned. It's like, why aren't we meeting people? We were like, honestly, very confused. We felt like we weren't making friends. I'm glad we didn't, because when we met Nicole and Charlotte, like one random night, baby mat night, I don't know, it was like meant to be. I remember sitting with Nicole and Charlotte in the hallway and afterwards, after that random like hallway chat talking about baby mat, I remember the day after I was talking to Abby and I was like, I really like Nicole and Charlotte, like I really like them, there's something different about them, and now we're close. So I'm really glad I didn't meet people in a week or until then, because they're perfect. I love them. I basically just summed up what I've been telling everyone by saying that like I can't imagine my life without my friends now, and I only met them like a month in after foco, like probably in mid-October we got close. So yeah, like don't worry about the friends thing. We thought we were gonna make friends in class more, but I feel like you can't make friends in class more. Everyone's just trying to do their own thing and pay attention to the prof. It's harder to make friends with people in your class in first year when the classes are that big. As for like floor mates, again, Leia lived on our floor, Nicole lived on our floor, but Leia we got close with the earliest, and then we like knew people on the floor. We were like friendly with everyone, but we weren't really close with anyone until like the end, and when like we knew things were ending early, we got way closer. And we were like close-ish, like we got closer and closer as the year went on, basically. That's how my floor went. Some floors are completely different, they're really close, or some floors are like no one talks to each other, so it depends on the floor you have. Your like art and your softs make a big difference. As for like getting to know your softs, I'm closest with one of my softs, moves. You'll just get to know your softs. Some of them were less involved, some of them we saw less often, but like if you put the effort in, I'm sure they'll bring it back. Like their role there is to be your friend. As for friends back in Vancouver, because if I haven't mentioned, I'm from Vancouver, go to school at Western. That's kind of important. Like, know that it's natural to lose friends from home. Your high school friends especially, you don't keep up with as much. The thing is for me, which I think is different for, like it's different for everyone, but the thing is for me that there's friends that I thought I would stay close with and I didn't end up staying close with them, and then things like happen, people through other people, I ended up being close with a lot of people I didn't expect to be friends with. Be open to who's going to stay in your life and who isn't. There's like a solid group of people that you want to keep in your life. Like you gotta make an effort to do that, because if you don't put an effort out there, like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just like know the relationship with your friends and like how it's gonna work, because for like me, some of my friends I knew like, okay, if I don't talk to you, like it's not the end of the world, we're gonna come back winter break and we're gonna be fine. And that was the case for most of my friends. Some of my friends I like knew I had to like keep up more of an effort to talk to, but it's natural to lose some friends. That's just life. If you're going away for school and there's a lot of people staying, like there is in Vancouver, like so many kids go to UBC, you are going to feel FOMO. You're going to see your friends on your Snapchat stories all hanging out, like your whole friend group, just like people you know hanging out together and you're not there. You will feel FOMO, but you also have to remember that like you're putting stuff on your Snapchat story, and even if you're not showing them anything, you have to remember that you're making way more friends where you are, and you have your friends back home, whereas they only have the friends that they're staying friends with and like the people from their school, you know? That I found difficult, just like remembering that I'm making friends too and it's not just me being left out of things. Another big thing for me was I did go through a breakup. It was like 3 weeks we lasted, I think. I don't even know if it was 3 weeks. I ended up doing long distance with my ex, and then it just didn't work. 3 weeks in, it ended, and that was really hard. It's just like I didn't see it coming, that type of stuff. For that type of stuff, long boyfriends, long distance, judge your significant other properly, and if you have a gut feeling that it's not gonna work, don't do it, because it's not worth it. And like, don't let them try to convince you otherwise if you know that it's something you don't want to do. No shame on like what happened with my relationship. I made that choice to like not follow my gut, but that did impact me a lot. I was like pretty sad after, and my anxiety got really bad. I was like sad all the time, and like that's when like things started happening with like friend groups back home and like being left out of things, and it's just like that's a whole story in itself. Basically, the reason why I'm saying this is like I was struggling for first year, and like right up until I left, to be honest, I was like still feeling it. Not because of the breakup, not just because of the breakup, but because of like other things going on and like losing friends here and like being scared to come back for the summer and not having people, and just like losing support, and then getting so used to having my solid group of friends at school and then like not seeing them for 6 months now. It is really difficult. So like having Abby around was so helpful. Leah, Nicole, Sharpie, my Soph, my sweet mates, Michelle and Audrey, all the friends that I ended up making made like a huge difference in my life. So just like try to stay positive. If you're like not really feeling it, like first couple months, like I almost definitely thought about like what if I stayed here and went to UBC, and like honestly now I can't imagine saying I would think I would hate it. Like I'm so glad I left. But yeah, basically it's difficult. It's gonna be difficult, and I did not have a good time for the first couple months. Like I did, but it was like hard for me. The thing that I did to help with that is I had like one night that just like didn't go very well. We were out partying, and like something not so good ended up happening, and I decided to go through with seeing counseling at school. Yeah, at Western at least there's res counseling, and that's in my building actually. We have like actual counselors. We think there's 3 of them. I got an email from them. They were like, okay, like what times are you available? And they just set me up. And I've seen counseling before. I saw the counseling at school, so I kind of knew how it went. You kind of just talk about what's been stressing you out, and they help you like rationalize it or like validate what you're feeling. And it's completely free. And if you don't live in residence, there's counseling like in the student center. Just look up health and wellness. I think you'll find the links. But yeah, I did end up seeing counseling, and it helped if you are have a friend that needs help, you can suggest it. But also, like, I don't know, this is kind of going off topic, but like, if someone's struggling, just like be there for them. And like, although that can be hard, just like let them know that you're there, just to be like a listening ear. And like, if you're being the listening ear, you don't need to give advice, you just need to like validate what they're feeling. If you're struggling being away from home, just remember that you chose to go away for a reason, and that you were once really excited about leaving home. And remember the reasons why. Like, maybe you're escaping something at home, or you just want to try something new, and you want to meet new people, and you want to expand your circles and like get to know a new place. So like, remember all those things. And then also remember that like, you'll be back home in the summer for 4 months, and you can like still experience your city. And like, it made me, being in London, Ontario, made me appreciate Vancouver so much more. London, Ontario is so freaking ugly. It's so ugly. Another thing is, I thought I wouldn't be going home for reading breaks. I ended up going for the first reading week because I was supposed to surprise my ex. Then he broke up with me before that happened, so it didn't really work out. What I ended up doing actually for that was I didn't tell anyone, and I surprised a whole bunch of my other friends, and that was way better. Yeah, I ended up going home for that one, and then I was like, I can't imagine not going home for February, so I ended up going home for February too. So actually, I was back in Vancouver a lot. Ali told me it's like not even special that I'm back anymore, and I would totally agree. So like, do what you need to do. Like, if you live in Ontario or like close to your school, obviously it's easier to go home. Like, FaceTime people back home if you miss them. This video's really long. I feel like I might have to separate it into 2 parts. Hi guys, so the video did end up being way too long, so I'm gonna split it up into 2 20-minute segments. But yeah, thanks for watching. Part 2 will be up next week or maybe earlier. But I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.